Hello, this is Bent Yu-Gi-Oh card here with a new deck. It's Rock Stun, and I have been needing to update Rock Stun for a while now. It seems like forever ago when I posted my first Rock Stun deck, and a lot of cards have changed in the game, so let's get started. First off, Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. This card is amazing in this deck. It finally got a reprint, so this is a little bit more of a budget build. This card is really good as a first turn opening play paired with a trap card in the back row. It just stops special summons, and then later in the game it also can trick your opponent by being flipped up and destroying all their special summons. So it's a very good card in this deck, and also if you've noticed, every monster in this deck is Earth because Block Golem requires it. You can tribute this bad boy off to special summon 2 level 4 lower rock monsters from your grave. Bring back your Koa'ki monsters and their negation effects. So that's a really key part of this deck. I only run 2 because I run cards like Card Trooper to mill them, and Call the Haunted and Monster Reborn to bring them back. And they can get a little clumpy because you really need to get the actual monsters in the grave first before you can start using them. You won't want to open with 2 of them and not have anything to bring back. I've got 2 Card Trooper. Reason it's there to put monsters in the graveyard for Block Golem and Call the Haunted. And also, Call the Haunted pairs nicely with it. If they MST the Call the Haunted, you get a free draw. So you ended up making your opponent -1. Card Trooper is very good as a floater as well. We have Boulder. Boulder gets your Koa'ki monsters out faster. Really, it gets them to the grave faster. It's another way of purposefully getting one of your Koa'ki monsters to the grave. You have Wall, he negates spells. You have Sandman, he negates traps, and you have Guardian, who negates effects. Now, Block Golem, when it uses its effect, they can't use their effects. The monsters he brings back cannot use their effects the turn that you use them, which is fine because in this deck you end up using your monster's effects during your opponent's turn to make them not be able to use effects and whatnot. You've got Morphing Jar. You need more. You need a card advantage in this deck, and there's not a lot of ways to do that. You've got a good bit of traps, so using a card like Morphing Jar is not a bad idea. On top of that, he's a rock monster, and you need the rock monster to reveal for Guardian. But I would probably suggest not revealing that you have a Morphing Jar. Grand Mole, once he's been used, he's a really good card to reveal, but he's in the deck to get rid of problem cards. Any extra deck card your opponent would probably summon is probably going to be a problem in general for any deck, but in this deck, you need to be able to get rid of those cards. Seal of Orichalcos, I run 1 in here because why not? You don't special summon from the extra deck all that often. You can. You don't need to, though. And it gives your monsters that little bonus to protect themselves and to deal a lot more damage. Dark Hole, obviously, Monster Reborn and Heavy Storm. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. You need to get rid of those back rows so you can make your big plays towards the end of the game to push for game. Pot of Duality is in here for consistency. You need to be able to draw the monsters you need and have the cards you need. So that's very good in this deck. You need... This is one of my favorite things I put in here is Call the Haunted. It works well with Card Trooper, Block Golem, any of your Koa'ki monsters. You can just bring them back and negate. It's pretty amazing, especially paired with Seal of Orichalcos. You can bring back a monster with 2400 attack, and they just have to eat it. So it works very well in this deck. 2 prisons, just to protect your Pachycephalos and other monsters, and remove your opponent's monsters from play. Warning, same thing, more back row. Judgment, Torrential, just to blow up the field when need be. Bottomless, to get rid of any of those problem summons. And Mirror Force. Now, before I get into the extra deck, I want to say that this is a budget build, but it can be pushed a little bit further with a few extra cards that are worth a little bit more. Grand Soul, I would suggest putting maybe 1 of these in this deck. I've playtested with it, and it's actually pretty awesome in this deck because you can edit your graveyard fairly well with Block Golem and Call the Haunted and even Monster Reborn. So you can kind of control the flow of monsters in your grave. He's a very good addition. I would maybe take out a Block Golem for him, as that being probably the only card that you can probably deal without. And then he is a very good addition to the deck. With all these back rows, he's a very, very helpful card to get the deck flowing a lot faster. Once again, I take out a Boulder. You might be able to even take a Morphing Jar out if you don't really prefer that card. And then I would take out either a Sandman or a Wall for the other one, because I would run 2 of these and 1 of these. But those are just preference. The deck runs fine without them, but I was just wanting to mention that these cards are also able to run in this deck very well. Extra deck, you don't really summon a lot of your extra deck cards, but there are a lot of options. You can run multiples of any of these. You have Fairy King. He's Earth. He takes 2 Earths, and he makes this deck run a little bit better. For those of you who don't know his effect, once returned, you can detach 1 Xyz from this card. All non-Earth monsters currently on the field lose 500 attack and defense. So if you need to push over something fairly big, he can help you do that. He's 2300 attack. Gaga Cowboy, Earth again, Gemini Pearl, Koa'ki Dragon, Soul Silver Mountain. Probably not going to summon this dude, but if you do, he's definitely a possibility, and he's awesome in this deck. And Tempo. And there you have it, guys. There's Rock Stun for 2013. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any ideas, comments, just leave them down below. And as always, this is Bent Yu-Gi-Oh card. Peace.